interesting is the smooth construction. Wait a moment.
Long ball downfield, offside flag stays down. The reason Pat pauses is because we thought Douay was in. The flag is still down. It goes behind for a goal kick.
Moroccan teams, possibly? I thought you'd done the Moroccan team.
I have.
Carry on.
Do you want to do that now?
Yes.
Head of the goal kick. Thank you, Pat. Yassine Bono in goal. Ashraf Hakimi at right back. Anas Salahuddin at left back. Diop Mazraoui, the two centre-backs. Bouadi and El Anawi in central midfield. Diaz, Unahi, El Kanous and Talbi.
And what we're talking about the Moroccans, they had a break there. And we know they're playing for those breaks now. That's what they've been trying to do. But the smooth way they constructed it, it was absolutely fabulous.
Elise Turns nearly threaded that through to Rabiot, who was charging onto it. Kone's lost the 50-50 in the Moroccan half, and suddenly Morocco looked to come on the counter again. Talbi sprinting after this ball. He can't quite keep it in play. Just skipped away from him on the second bounce and goes out for a throw-in to France. But that's a couple of early counter-attacking opportunities, and Kone's down for France.
No, they don't need that now because obviously Tchouaméni has been suffering with an injury for a little while as well. Now, they're not struggling for players. They've got some good players that they can use, but you know you don't go down there unnecessarily, obviously, because there's a fair chance that you would have to sit off for a minute if the physio comes on. The physio hasn't come on. And again, that's one of the rules that's made a difference in this World Cup, hasn't it? You know, the amount of times that the games were stopped, slowed down, time's wasting. You have to be injured now to get somebody on. You used to not have to be injured. You absolutely 100% must be injured.
Yeah.
For that to happen, and it's a joy. It's changed the game.
Yeah, absolutely, Pat. Or if you go down and need the treatment, then you are off, and you're off for a good minute, aren't you? And so that's why players will not stay down.
And also staying down when it's basically pretending to be injured. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Exactly. It's cut that out. Exactly right. Douay on the left-hand side. The 20-year-old brought into the team by Deschamps for this game ahead of Barcola, who we may well see later in the game. Upamecano, the long shadows of the sort of structures of the stadium above us, all the metal work which rings around the top of the giant stand we're sitting in. The shadows of that now reaching out onto the pitch. Loads of little spotlights act as the floodlights here, hundreds of them lined up, and you can see them all dotted in the shadows down on the pitch. The pass comes back here to Bono, the goalkeeper. 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes gone in the second half. Warm welcome again to our listeners on the BBC World Service, wherever you're listening to us, whatever time it is with you. We hope you're enjoying it. France 0, Morocco 0. 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
I think they're winning the midfield now, Morocco. Certainly since the start of the second half, they're winning that midfield, and I did not think I would say that.
Salahuddin charging down the left, lays it off to Talbi, who tries to knock the pass back to Salahuddin. Got a deflection on it. Upamecano gets his body in the way and just shepherds the ball behind for a goal kick. So Talbi, this is his first start at the World Cup for Morocco. 21 years old. Good signing for Sunderland last season. Scored some. I mean, he's yet to score for his country, but I remember seeing him score a winner at Stamford Bridge. Scored an important goal at Anfield. Scored in a win at St James's Park for Sunderland as well. So he's got big goals in him.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I think he was pretty spectacular today when he's gone forward. His pace has been fabulous. He's frightened the life out of any of the defenders he's run up against. And this time, a corner kick.
Corner taken short. Comes out to Hakimi, who's in the left wing position here, right under our noses, but miles down from our steeple and commentary position. Unahi's in a tight spot on the left. Clever feet, gets the cross in, it's low. It hits Mbappe, who's back there defending. He chases that deflection out. It's lofted high in the air by Salahuddin. And he's got plenty on that, and he goes flying out for a goal kick. And Mike Maignan gets the replacement ball and immediately side foots it out to Lucas Digne, inside his own half wide on the left. Rabiot from deep in a central position, running with the ball at his feet, just slides a low pass to Koundé. Koundé forward to Dembele, back to Koundé again, just inside the Moroccan half. Jeers and whistles from the Moroccan fans to try and distract the French players as they're in possession of the ball. Digne out to Douay. Douay takes Hakimi infield, rolls it to Mbappe. First time layoff here to Kone. Kone comes right to Koundé. Koundé wider right. Good first touch from Dembele. Gives him a chance here to have a little run at Salahuddin. Knocks the ball into his feet. Gets it back. Edge of the box now, Douay. Little scoop pass looking for Elise. Douay stretches out a leg. Couldn't get onto that ball. And a chance for Morocco to bring it away with Unahi. And look at Talby fly down this left-hand side, receives the pass up against Upamecano. I think he might fancy this. Upamecano does well, sticks with him, knocks the ball out of play. Pat Nevin for a throw into Morocco.
Don't think Upamecano's as quick as him, but he's a strong runner. He's a physical runner, and he just makes sure he gets his body in the way there. But it's totally different this second half. I spent a lot of time watching to our left here, the Moroccans trying to attack, getting on the ball. And they love it when they break up the play, say, halfway inside the opposition half or even on the halfway line, because there's so many of them know exactly what to do. They break with pace. Their passing is actually really sharp and is really controlled most of the time when they do it. They're actually now playing themselves into this game.
First World Cup quarter-final, France 0, Morocco 0. Luca Dean hitting the bar in the first half, and Mbappe with the penalty save, the penalty he won. Elise caught inside his own half by Bouadi. That is a free kick for France.
Not getting the best out of Elise either in the second half. And then none of the creative stuff. A couple of little flicks and tricks in the first half, but no great through balls, and I'm finding that really difficult. I have a needle threaded ball that Ronaldo's so good at. It's just there haven't been the spaces for him, but he's been closed out of this second half completely so far.
Kone wins a ball for France, gets it quickly forward to the danger man Mbappe, inside left channel, goes wide to Doué. Doué onto the right foot, hits a fizzing shot, straight at Bono. It sort of knocks him off his feet, off balance, but he clings onto it, makes the save.
Yeah, probably have to do a little bit of that just to get the spirits up again with the start of the second half for the French here. Yeah, good pace on the ball. He's caught it at the second attempt, that's to be said, but it's a regulation save. He should save that straight at his body.
0-0. Winners of this one will play the winners of Spain-Belgium in the semi-finals in Dallas on Tuesday. Full commentary of Spain-Belgium tomorrow night, 8 o'clock here on 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the World Service. Vicky Sparks and Stephen Warnock with the commentary of that one. Pictures available on BBC One and via the iPlayer. You can have the 5 Live commentary and the BBC TV pictures Saturday night, 10 o'clock. I know it'll be a date in your diary. John Murray, Paul Robinson with commentary of Norway, England in Miami. The winners of that one meet the winners of Argentina, Switzerland, which is in the early hours of Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Elise gliding forward, might run into the path of Mbappe, and he sliced it high and wide and behind for the goal kick. And again, blink of an eye, France was suddenly into Morocco.
Do you know what? I think Elise is he's actually listening to the commentary, saying he's not been doing that yet. He just flies past two players. Mbappe was offside. It wouldn't have counted. Taking it in the half volley, taking it over the crossbar. And I think if you're one of the French attacking players, it must be on your mind that the manager's going to make changes soon. He'll have to make some changes soon. And it's interesting because I don't think Morocco need to. I think they're okay, they're comfortable. I don't think that's possibly on the manager's mind at the moment. So
excellent first time ball from Dembele across the halfway line to Doué, quickly onto Mbappe. Danger for Morocco here, back in numbers. Mbappe turns away from goal, turns again and faces up against those defenders, but passes back to Dean. Rabiot forward to Doué, back heel. Sure, Mbappe was expecting that. Good battle there between him and Hakimi. Mbappe shrugs him off. Hakimi gives him a couple of little friendly shoves on the shoulder to try and knock him off balance. And Mbappe has it. And at the moment he's stationary, but we know how quickly he can move from that position. Passes back to Doué, 35 yards out, inside left channel. Cross to Upamecano. To his right to Dembele. Elise is on the move again, elegantly. Ball at his feet, twisting and turning. Turquoise boots. And the peppermint green strip. Across it comes here to Saliba. Doué on the run, central position into the penalty area. Stretching leg from Mbappe. Mbappe's left-footed cross is floated to the far post. It's beyond everyone. And it's behind for a Morocco goal kick. France 0, Morocco 0.
One thing about the very, very best teams, they know if they start falling behind or they've lost the initiative slightly in the game, they know how to go through the gears. And just when you thought, right, okay, they're beginning to lose this now. A couple of them have thought, right, this isn't good enough. We need to lift it a little bit. Michael Elise's done a couple of tricksy little things, and certainly one nice pass that almost found Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe himself has done 2 or 3 runs down the left-hand side. So top players know when you have to turn up the dial. And they've started to try and do that now because they're beginning to lose it a bit there.
Coming up to an hour played in this World Cup quarter-final. France should be ahead, but we knew Morocco would cause them problems. They're extremely durable. Their run of form in the last 4 years, longer than that, is very, very impressive. And they're very much still in this game, and they're dangerous in the penalty shootouts as well. 2 World Cup shootouts, and they've won them both. The one against the Netherlands, of course, in the last 32 at this tournament. Hakimi, inside his own half. Unahi comes towards him, receives that ball and passes back to Diop. We're going from sort of shade to sunshine again. The sun is out and splashing the pitch once more. Upamecano puts everything into that header to get it back to his goalkeeper, Mike Maignan.
So, at this point in time, you're looking at the Moroccans, and every minute it goes past, you almost think they believe a little bit more. They think, okay, we've not to really be massively fearful. Before the game, with all the talk, you're thinking they're going to be worried about it, they're going to be sitting in, they're going to be unsure of themselves. Yeah, but they've played themselves into this game, and if they can keep it like this for a little while longer, but that's a big, big effort, has to be said.
France are trying to stretch them. They've got the ball, attacking position on the left. Luca Dean is well forward. Not sure that pass was meant for Doué. Doué's stretch got a touch, he's lost it. Now Morocco have given it away. Rabiot pounces. Dini gets another chance to cross. Mazraoui volleys the ball over his left shoulder. The ball was behind him. That was skillful and acrobatic. Ball falls to Mbappe. Curling effort has found the back of the net. Another very, very special goal from you-know-who Kylian Mbappe at this tournament. Making up for the penalty miss in the first half. The ball fell to his feet just inside the penalty area, and as soon as he worked it onto that magic right boot and hit the shot, you knew exactly where that was headed. France 1, Morocco 0.
It's fantastic. It's not quite to the level of Erling Haaland's the other day that we watched from a very similar position, but it is quality. He's passed that into net with some power there from that angle, and he's desperate for that. You know he was desperate for that after the penalty kick that I mentioned just a few minutes before. This was a concerning time for them. They were not exactly under the cosh, but they were second best for a period there. But big players, as I say, turn up at big moments, and both Elise and now Mbappe, we've seen another angle of it. It is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, looking at the slow motion once again, using the defender's body as cover, finds the side netting. That is delightful, it is delectable, it is delicious, and it has France one up against Morocco in the World Cup quarter-final, and deservedly so. So Morocco are waiting to make a couple of changes here, and it's been the other brilliant thing about this tournament, the fact that these world-class strikers are all scoring loads of goals and racing for the Golden Boot as well. So Mbappe has 8 and Messi has 8. In terms of World Cup goals in their careers, Messi has 21, Mbappe has 20, and in this tournament, Haaland 7 and Kane 6. And it's something that's really added, I think, Pat, to the narrative of this tournament.
I think it is absolutely strong. I don't think there's ever been a World Cup like this, to this level, with these world-class players all turning up, all scoring, all making the extreme differences. It is an extraordinary good thing to see that the top players are providing the top at the top level.
So double change here. Bouadi has come off, Sofiane Amrabat is on, and Bilal El Khanous has come off, and the man we thought who might start in this game, Soufiane Rahimi, 30-year-old striker, is on. And now Morocco, it has to be a change of plan somewhat. They are trailing France, mighty France, by a goal to nil. France looking to reach a third World Cup semi-final in a row, and wrapping through those goal-scoring stats in our last commentary against Paraguay, very much looks like we are heading towards at least one player getting into double figures for a World Cup tournament. That hasn't happened since Gerd Müller did it back in 1970, and there's only 3 men that have ever done it in the history of the game. Sandor Kocsis of Hungary, Just Fontaine, of course, of France, who still holds the record for 13 goals in the tournament. Mbappe is sitting down. He took a whack in the face there. He's holding his right hand to his face. He's back on his feet as Morocco start to build play inside the French half. And Mbappe is now back in the game. And he is the goal scorer, and he is the reason that France lead Morocco 1-0, and then he's caught. That's a really bad challenge from Diop. On that halfway line, Mbappe is down in some pain, face buried in the turf at his pitch in Boston, and I can see why. He was too sharp for Diop. Diop's come through the back of him, and that's a sore one.
Yeah, to be honest, it's kind of ugly, because he doesn't need to go. There's no need to actually go and dive in there. Just wait. You know he's on the half turn anyway, but he's just fearful because he didn't get there quick enough. He knows that he's never going to catch him, and he just wipes him out and stands on his toe. And I think the standing on his toe is the biggest problem.
Now, if Morocco are to get through, Issa Diop will not play in the next game. He was on a yellow card, and 2 before the semi-finals means he would be ruled out. Morocco trailing here by 1-0. French players we have to watch for in that regard. Looking forward to a potential semi-final. Manu Kone in central midfield. Michael Elise and Barcola, who's yet to play in the game. Here's Elise. Again, lovely. Just drifts away from El Nawi, and France suddenly look dangerous, flowing forward in the light green shirt. On the left-hand side is Mbappe, finds Rabiot, cross in, Diop blocks it with his right foot, and it goes out for a throw-in to France. Different game now, Pat.
It's looking a bit effortless for the French now, and it always does that, doesn't it? Because they know, right, okay, we don't have to force it now, we can play at our own pace. We know the opposition are going to have to come out a little bit, and because of that, the game just gets so much easier. If the French get another goal, they will cruise. It's not one of those you go 2 up and it's a dangerous 2 up. No, they will cruise if they get another one.
15 goals in the tournament so far for France. 8 of those scored by Mbappe, and he should have had 2 today because obviously the penalty saved by Bono. Rabiot on the halfway line, plays it wide to Doué. France have switched play to the right, up to Meccano. Great precision on that pass to find Elise, angular figure, arrowing in from the right-hand side. Half a tackle on him from El Nawi. The 2 players go tumbling to the floor. France continue their attack. Here's Koundé. Koundé runs past the ball. Left-footed ball is back to Elise, who's starting to enjoy himself, but that was too casual. Little flick behind him. It was blocked by Onahi. Tried to take it away down the left-hand side, and he's knocked it out of play for a throw-in to France in the right-back position. France 1, Morocco 0.
Yeah, but it's not over yet, and you know the Moroccans have made these changes, so that might make a little bit of difference, a little bit of danger up front as well. But they've got everything to do. This is, I mean, it's a difficult deal with you, Morocco, because they've probably had the best period of the game there. Like 10, 15 minutes after the second half, and now they're getting broken on themselves.
Here comes the danger. Dembele sweeping forward, right-footed shot, 2-0. Ousmane Dembele finds the bottom corner. Yassine Bono got a hand to it, but he couldn't keep it out. And the story has changed very quickly in the second half in Boston, because France are on the march, the favourites, towards another World Cup semi-final. Dembele with the second, France 2, Morocco 0.
It's so hard. You're playing against top quality players, and then you have to take chances, and you have to leave gaps for them to run into. And there's players in front of him, but again, that's not a shot, is it? That's a pass with power into the corner, and there's nothing that Bono can do there. I think maybe it gets a little bit of a hand to it, but not enough, not quite enough. And the stars are shining again. Dembele, Mbappe. We just wait to see who else scores now, because they actually could run rampant now.
Yeah, 2 of the Musketeers have their goals. Mbappe with the first, Dembele with the second. In terms of the race for the Golden Boot, Dembele now up to 5 goals. Of course, got the hat-trick against Norway in this stadium, so certainly enjoys playing here. And the French fans, I can see one of them on the big screen in one of those old-school French kits. I think that's the '98 World Cup winning shirt with a replica shining golden World Cup trophy balanced on top of his head. It is going to take a very, very good team to stop them. If they win this quarter-final, they will play Spain or Belgium.